So now recording has started. So this was the point, I think, where we last actually finished our discussion. So we figured out that if a predecessor and successor both are being maintained, and we maintain two set of rules, that you periodically broadcast whatever routing table you have to everybody whose information you have. Okay, so that you do. And secondly, whenever somebody sends a routing table to you, also send your copy in reciprocation back to him. Okay, once these two things are done, you will be always be able to rectify and form the correct ring. Okay, because now you can move in backward and forward direction, and with the pointers basically then start moving. So you are pointing it to 3, for example, here. This pointer will start to move because information about 0 and 5 will be coming. So you have to remember your neighbors, closest neighbors, predecessor and successor. So this is actually good enough algorithm as such, but this is not very fast. Okay. In fact, the quiz also I gave the similar problem, but of course the numbers were different in that case. Now, if a node exits, I think this case also we have seen. In this case, this actually I had done then and there itself. So if for example, the 5 gets actually cut off, then 5 will actually get 3 will get information only from 0, not from 5. So in that case, it will get information about 29. So it will have only knowledge of 0 and 29. So it will now use these to find out who is going to be predecessor successor, and there is going to be a pointer being created here. A 9 will create a pointer to 20. So we had seen this earlier. Next iteration, the 3 will come to know about 0 and 29 from 0, as well as about the 29th neighbors, 0 and 25. So 25 is a new entry. So it will make a choice among these actually. So the pointer will actually move here. This keeps on happening. This time they will get the information from 25. 3 will get, as well as 9 will also get. And they will have more options, and they will choose from that, and they will change their pointers accordingly, 29 and 20. This will keep on happening, and ultimately they both will get the ring recovered. So this is where I think I left last time. Then remember, I have told that instead of using two predecessor, one and two predecessor, one predecessor and one successor, we can have two. Now, do you agree this in this case? 5 will be having in the routing table, the entry will be of next neighbor 9 and next to next 11. Okay, same procedure. You pick up any topology, start doing this exercise. So two higher number of nodes cyclically higher, which are closest to you, and cyclically lower, which are also closest to you, or from which you are the closest. Pick up those and maintain them in the table. You will ultimately end up in this kind of a structure. Okay. So here k by 2 is, so here is actually 4 a neighbor table actually we call it, or it's also a routing table here. So 2 in the forward, the 2 successors and 2 predecessors are maintained by each one of them. So this is what will be the structure. Now if node 5 fails, what is going to happen? You will find node 5 and 9 and 3 are already connected, not an issue. So entry of 5 will not be there. So 9 will, the entry of for 5, which is being maintained in table of 9. So 9, for example, will be maintaining a table of 3, 5 and 11, 20. So when 5 will fail, this entry will no more be there in this case. So entry which is left here will be 3, 11 and 20. The entry for 5 will expire. Because this has to be done periodically, so all these entries will have a lifetime associated with this. So every time an entry update comes, you will reset the timer. When timer expires, you will remove the entry. So there is a lifetime timer associated with each entry in routing table. So we maintain that in V4 also. So now it is only left with 3, 11 and 20. 3 will be having an entry which is going to be 29, 0. It itself will be there. It will also maintain 9. The other entry is gone. Okay, so this will now receive entries from 29 as 0 as well as 9, all three. So any entry coming from 29, 29 is 0 anyway are going to be predecessor. So any new information about 25 will not make any sense to you. But 9 will tell about 11 and 20. So what it can do is it can now make 29, 0, 9 and it will replace. I can just erase this and make an entry for 20 here. Similarly, this guy will now make an entry for before 3 there is a 0, so it will make an entry for 0. Okay, so these are being shown by this new two green lines which have been, these are new links which will get formed, and the repair happens in single step. So which was taking actually almost n steps earlier. So these, so you can actually count the number of nodes. So those many steps will be actually minus 1. So these are 1, 2, 3, 7. Total 6 steps will be required. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, it's actually 4 steps. Yeah, no, sorry. First step is here, second here, third here, fourth here, fifth. So there must be 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. 4 and 5. So these two should not be counted. So leftover nodes minus 2. Those many steps were required. Here you are doing it in single step. Okay. So of course, in this case, for now you want to search anything. What will happen? Do you require n by 2 steps the way it was happening when it was a pure ring? So in pure ring, for example, 0 wanted to search for say 15. So it can go either this way or the query can go this way. The message can be passed. So you require n by 2 hops typically. So in this case, this will become how much? N by 4. I have written it here. In worst case scenario. Okay. So you can take with equal probability everything happens. So divide by 2 further. So that will be average number of steps. This is the worst case maximum steps. So we can now try to modify this. So as I told. So we modify and add something which we call finger tables. Okay. So it is a modulo 32 system actually which we have been using. So what I can do is at node number 5. Okay. At node number 5, I can now try to maintain a. Let me see where I'm. Okay. So what I do is I actually maintain one entry which is diametrically opposite. Okay, so 32 are the total number of node ID space, 32 by 16. So what we will do is we actually have a ring. If you are the node here, you will find out what's the corresponding node ID which is here. This is the new hash ID, but there may not be a node here. So you find out a node which is closest to it, and that entry you will be maintaining additional. Will be in addition to what you are maintaining as a predecessor and successor. Okay. So I have just increased one more entry in the routing table. So what new entry will come? So 5 will be now maintaining an entry for, I will add 16 and I have to do a modulo operation, but it is 21. So there is no modulo required. So 5 will start maintaining entry which is closest from this 21, which will be now 25. So this particular entry I am talking about. Okay. This particular pointer which will get created. So 5 has now pointed to 9, 5 has 3 and 5 has 25. So there will be 3 entries which will be maintained, 3, 9 and 25. Let's see what happens with this. So with 9, actually if I do 9, I will be maintaining a pointer till 25. 9 plus 16 is 25, so directly you are going to point. Then 11 will be maintaining a pointer towards 27. So 27, the closest node is going to be 29. So that's what will be put. 20 will be maintaining a pointer to 4. I have done this here. But 4 is not there. So closest node is 5. So it's maintaining pointer to 5. So this is what I have written here. 25 will be maintaining to 9. So 9 was maintaining to 25 exactly. There was a node available there. So 25, when you actually add 16, it will come back to 4. This is a modulo 32 system. This is a bidirectional pointer by chance in this case. That depends on how the nodes are placed. Okay, but your algorithm should be generic, should work in all scenarios. Now 29, if you take, it is going to point to 20. 29 is going to point to 13 actually. And closest node to 13 is 20. 0 point to 16, but closest node will be 20. 3 is pointing to again 19, but closest node is 20. So they will all, this is another extra pointer being created. So now my pointer is going to be this way. Okay, these lines are nothing but the routing table entry, nothing more than that. They are not actual physical limit. So at each node, which of the entry in the routing table is closest to the hash IDs. Okay, so you will have 3 entries, so you will have a hash ID which has to be routed. Based on that hash ID, the message has to be routed. You will just look at the routing table entry, find out whichever is closest, and send it to that. So now if your hash ID belongs to this range A, you will be routing it to here. If it is in this range B, you will be routing it here. I am using the same what we call node ID minus hash ID plus 2 raised power n modulo 2 raised power n arithmetic distance as a distance metric. Okay, so this distance is minimized. So within C range, it will be going to this small c, and anything in the range D, it has to be yourself, so you must be the root node for that. Okay, now is it going to effectively increase your speed? Okay, the problem is you may have nodes sitting in here at these places. Some entry which exists is pointing hash IDs belongs to this particular point. You will be coming here, and then after that midway this particular node is there, so you will now doing backward propagation, step by step. There is not much advantage which you will get out of this actually. With one single halfway entry, it is not going to make any sense. Okay, because if some entry is going to be here, you are now looking into something called half of the section you anyway is going to retrieve, because you are going backward and forward, and you are actually going through halfway. So even if you come here, you have to go forward instead of backward. So you don't save much actually in this scenario. Earlier years, actually, if you look at videos, well, some of you might be looking at that. I had not talked about finger table in this fashion. Finger tables, probably that was wrong. And the first thing which evolved was predecessor and successor information, so that you can form the rings. Finger tables for additional structures. I think I have probably incorrectly gave in those lectures, even in NPTEL lectures, incorrectly mentioned that predecessor is not required. You only require finger tables and that will be good enough. So you only need a forward pointer. Okay, but that will not stabilize the routing table. I will give the reason for that. For reason routing table to stabilize, you require at least one predecessor, then you can use forwarding tables, it's okay. So we can now increase the entries. Okay, so Ri is your the node which is going to be the root node. C is the current node which we have. Okay, and 2 raised power I. So I is the ith entry which you are going to create. So if you are looking at the 0th entry, you have to add 1 into the current node and then find out the root node such that which is closest to this, that will become your 0th entry. So you have 0 to n minus 1 n entries, okay, corresponding to these, which will be present. Okay, and there will be one predecessor entry which will be, because you are anyway stabilizing the ring, and we have proven that ring will always stabilize to correct form. Okay, so this finger tables will also stabilize to correct form. So far, I retain that particular thing, predecessor and successor. And I can actually even have a leaf set, two predecessor and two successor. It will become still better and faster actually. Only problem will happen when two nodes will successively fail. Consecutive two nodes will fail. Then there will be a problem, but then that will also get recovered. Okay, but then now they have to essentially the whole ring. The two pointers have to move very fast. Every time they will do a twice hop. Two hops will be done, and ultimately they will recover. So this time I am using modulo 128 space. Leave set where there is only one predecessor and one successor. Now successor will form the part of the routing table in this case. You can always see because 0 plus 1 when I do, and whatever root node for that I found, that will become uh, the successor. I will make some change here. Yeah, to be consistent, I will explain this notation, which this was not there earlier. So this I have introduced this time. This probably will be creating otherwise confusion. So I decided to introduce this. So since it's a modulo 128 space, I will be requiring 7 entries. One includes predecessor also inside it. One successor. This actually includes one successor. And there will be one predecessor. So total 8 entries for each routing table. But I will actually do the search very fast in this case. But is it going to truly happen? Because routing rule says that whenever a hash ID comes, you look at routing table entries, and you yourself are also look at yourself. Find out which is actually closer from the hash ID and just pass on to that. In this case, actually, it is not going to happen again. So we have to change something. So again, this I have taught probably through an incorrect method. This time I have rectified this. So you will see changes if you look at the last year's or previous to previous year's lecture recordings. So now look at node 0, you want to search for 83. So I call it root of 83. So this actually means the node ID which is greater than or equal to 83, the lowest node ID in cyclic fashion. This essentially means that. So 83 is going to be somewhere here. So 85 should be the root node, obviously. Okay, but if I write root of 83, I don't put this quotes. That actually means I have to compute the hash of 83 first. Okay, and then use that where this hash ID is reaching, and then find out the node. So I can actually write down, if I want to do this, this should be equal to root of hash of 83. So I have put the quotes here. Okay, so this when I'm actually putting the quotes, the root function will give me nothing but the node which is smallest node ID, which is closest, which is greater than or equal to the number which is present inside the quotes. So whatever the number which is present inside the quotes will always be a number. But whatever be the argument of hash can be even a string. It need not be a number actually. It can be a string. A string based alphanumeric characters can be there. So hash essentially gives, take everything as a number and computes. It's a byte string. It's a chunk of bytes. So now let's see what will happen. So routing table at 0, because 0 I have searching for 83. So which one of the nodes will be closest out of these ones? You will find out the closest is 0 only, because 83 lies here, and if I use the distance metric for chord, it's 0 here. Now to whom actually now the message should be forwarded. Yeah, Pratik.
Sir, before that, I have a doubt regarding this 7 entries. Could you explain once again what was the 7 entries plus predecessor point?
Yeah, I am this routing table entry which I have written here in the bottom slightly, na? At 0. So how this routing table, for example, 0 plus this is a 128 modulo space. Okay, let me finish with that. So diametrically opposite entry will be 0 plus 64. Okay. Now since now this number can be larger than 128, I add 128 and then do the modulo 128 operation. So any negative will be always converted to positive in cyclic fashion. Okay. This is a numeric space being defined, modulo numeric space. So 64 will be the point here. So the node which is closest to this is 69. So first entry will be, we will have an entry as the way it has been shown here, 6. We will have 69 here. Okay. So I can start, this is a predecessor which is coming from here. Then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I add 0, 2 raised power 0 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Which particular node is going to be the root 4 1, which is 3. 2 raised power 1. So 0 plus 2 is 2, again 3. When I look at second, 0 first and second entry now, 2 square is 4. Fourth actually root node will be 10. Eighth root node will be 10. So this is how you keep on creating and you will end up in this kind of, this is the additional entries now in routing table. In addition to predecessor and successor. So you will count, these will be 7. So this is what I am talking about here. So one successor is included in this. And one predecessor which is going to be there. So this is the complete routing table. So yeah, now coming back to 0 will hand over to whom? Yeah, Pratik, I asked you this. Not there?
Sir,
To whom 0 should hand over? Can you be louder?
hello, my voice is audible, sir.
Yeah, now audible.
Sir, it will give.
Look at all routing table entries as 0. Find out which one is going to be closest to 83. Okay. So this is a routing table available to you. So 83 is closest to which node? So you just arrange them in a cyclic fashion, find out the node which is going to be greater than or equal to, but it is smallest in cyclic sense, which will be 99.
Yes, sir.
You agree with this?
In cyclic fashion.
Yes. So 83 is here. So you find out this is the first node which comes, which is also having entry in 0. So 0 will
Yes.
be, this will be handed over to 99. Okay. And then what will happen? So 0 has given it to 99. 99 will also do the same exercise. But 0 plus 64 was here. 99 plus 64 will be somewhere here actually. You can compute what is 99 plus 64. So minus 128 you have to do it. It's a modulo operation. 25. So 25 lies here. So the midway entry for this one is here. And all other 1/4 and partitions, other partitions will be somewhere here. This is 2 raised power 6 when I am adding 2 raised power 6. Okay. So remember I have written, this is the rule. So I goes from, I will take value from 0, 1, 2 till 6. So 6 will give me the largest number from center. Actually, I should write this as also brace. Okay. So when I is 6, you will get 25. So certainly you cannot find out any entry here which is going to be closer to 83. So only entry which is available next time is for moving will be, only this will be the predecessor entry. So 99 should pass it on to 95. Now 95 you do, it will also again turn out to be, this pointer is always going to move. The midway pointer was here, this moved here. This is going to move only in backward direction as you are moving this way. So 95 has to move it to 92, 92 has to go to 90, 90 has to go to 85. Then 85 will figure out I can't give it to anybody, so I am the closest guy. So I must be the root node. So you require, it still n by 2 hops. So there is no use of creating these finger tables, even if I create. I thought I will make it fast. So what is the mistake which has happened? So let's move down. I can now do something. So this is the entry sequence which I told you has happened. So maybe what I can do is now I change my options. Okay, I can change my option of how the root node is defined. I have defined my root node as the node which is going to be, so if this is a node, R is a node ID, I was defining R minus H plus 2 raised power n. But God has not told us, only I have told you, and I am not God. You have to use this routing table entry, this particular distance metric. You say for defining root node, I need not use it, I will use something different. So you decide, okay, I am going to change this. You say I am going to do this exercise. I will find out a node ID from whom to the hash ID the distance is least. Okay. And now I still maintain the routing table in the same fashion, but now this is the distance which I have to minimize. So at 0, that table entry will say 64. Now from which node 64 is closest? It will not be 69, it will be 62. 64 to 62 to 64. 64 to 62 will go all the way there. This will complete the circle. So 62 will be the entry, so which is being made here. Okay. So I have given the pointer here midway. So this will be the root node. So I will pass on my entry to my query to this guy. So what entry 62 will be maintaining? Look, I have written a table here. Its predecessor will be 59. And if I put 0, 2 raised power 0 is 1. 62 plus 1 is 63. 63, there is no node with 63. So which node should be used for 63? 63 will be 62 actually.
According to the new rule, 63.
Yeah, I made a mistake here. You are right. I made a mistake here. It should be 62. Okay. 0, 1, 2 when I do. When I do 3, it is 8. 62 plus 8 is 70. So it should be 69. So I made a mistake here. So routing table structure will change because my distance thing is changed. So I have probably made a mistake everywhere. So I will rectify that now. With 4, I will have 16. 16 will become 68, 78. So it will be 77. And this is 32. 32 plus 62. 64, 94. So 94 will become how I made a mistake. Oh, I have done it incorrectly, sorry. This even with this rule it can't happen. There is a mistake here. So it is 32 plus 62 becomes 64, 94. So 94, so 92 will be the entry. So this should have been actually here. Okay, with 5. This entry should be with 4. And there has to be, this entry has to be with 3. And this has to be self loop with 1, 2 and 0. Okay. So these two are incorrect.
Sir, can you once more tell why you choose 62 and not 69? Because I thought in routing table of 0, we see that there is entry for 69, and according to this metric,
No, but my distance metric is this.
No, so we won't make use of this routing table at all in finding 62.
No, 0 will actually also have 64. This routing table entry has to be 62 here. Actually. When I use this new rule, this routing table entry will also change. So this will become 0. Okay. This will become actually 3. This will become 10. And this will become 25. Now my distance metric is defined as this actually. So it's a node which is predecessor to the hash ID, not successor to the hash ID. Okay, so all entries will get changed correspondingly. So I am just giving an option, alternative. One option which you can choose is this. You change your distance metric itself. So the problem which we were actually facing earlier, that I was not able to use my route finger table and I have to do this backtrack in case of 83, this problem is gone now. In fact, you will see that you will never be able to use this entry. It is going to be very problematic for you. Okay, any entry here, you will just do backward track. If any entry which is lying here, then you will come here, then you do the backward tracking. Any entry which you are coming here, you will come here, then you do the backward tracking. Okay, so this is what is going to happen. So if some entry is lying here, in that case, you will jump here. Okay, so which will come to this particular node as per the earlier thing. And then you start doing backward tracking till you find out this particular node. So in this region, you do backward tracking for this whole loop. Okay, when you come here, if you, for example, some entry is sitting in here, in this case, you will jump here directly because this is the root for this hash ID. And then you will come back here itself for this particular thing. You will become the root node for this hash ID. So you do backward actually tracking you will be doing, and this is only for intermediary jumps, finger tables. We are still managing a circle. So this alternative actually solves the problem. So in fact, different papers on CORD will actually give you different strategies. So I am trying to make it more generalized. Okay, so this is one possibility which we could have done. But suppose if you don't want to do it, you want to still retain the old expression. Okay, old distance metric, which is r minus hash id plus 2 raised power n modulo 2 raised power n. Then I may end up in choosing my routing tables in slightly different fashion. Okay, now my routing table will be whatever is current node ID. I don't add, but I do a subtraction actually. And I will change I from 0, 1, 2 to n minus 1. Okay. So once I do this, So I will find out now node which is going to be, why this S has been written. Okay, this is a successor. So remember, in this one, there will always be an entry which will be a predecessor. Sorry, there is. Okay. There is a possibility here that you may not have any entry for the predecessor. So you need to maintain two entries here, P plus S. So that will be it, because there is a possibility predecessor might be somewhere sitting here. When you come halfway across, you may not find you may yourself be the root node for all routing table entries here, for all i's. So P has to be maintained explicitly, P and S. In case of forward pointers, S is always guaranteed to be present also in the routing table entries. Here you can't actually. Sorry, so P has to be also added here. Okay. Yeah, that's a good insight. So P and S you will maintain plus whatever is the current node ID minus 2 raised power I. Here I will change and find out whatever is going to be the root node for this. So those will be the entries actually, at entries. So in this case, you use the same metric which was there. So 0 will be now maintaining an entry for do minus 64, 69 will be the entry. You do minus 32, 99 will be the entry. You do minus 8, minus 16, 8, minus 4, minus 2, minus 1, 0 itself will be the entry. So red ones are actually which have been shown. So when the 83 has to be searched, where it will be gone. So you have this 99, you have 69, you have 0. You will pass on the entry to 99. The message will be passed on to him. Now 99 will have again similarly the entry for minus 64, which will turn out to be 36, using the same old distance metric. So hash ID to node ID. Okay, distance. So 36 will come here. 99 minus 64. So this turns out to be 35. Okay. And 35's root node will be 36. So minus 64 will attach onto this. 99 minus 32. So this will be 67. So this will become 69. Okay. Then do minus 16. So minus 16 if you do, it will be 83. 83's root will be 85. So 85 will be entry here. So it will look at all possible nodes options which are being, with this color it is being shown, pointed. 85 will turn out to be the closest from 83, it will just send it out to 85. 85 knows predecessor, successor, it knows itself is the root node. In 2 steps you could do it actually. Now this is the backward finger table actually. The earlier one was the forward finger table. Okay. But most of the books will not actually talk about forward and backward as well as this alternate distance metric. They will give you this one, which is also a neat and clean idea. You have to just tweak around your routing table entry and use forward table, and it's going to work smoothly without any problem. So when a message is received, if the current node is closest from the hash ID. Now remember, I have written current node is closest from the hash ID. Then current node is the root node. Remember, you already have in your table a predecessor also. So if you are the closest one, so the predecessor is not closest one, and successor is also not certainly the closest one. So you must be the root node. So your search ends here. You don't have to forward it any further. So if the message says you publish an entry, you will publish. If you want to query, you will find out the entry and send it back to the querying node. Okay. Otherwise, if this is not true, else. Okay. So if this is true, then you will actually terminate here your search. Otherwise, you will find a node from whom. Now I have changed from whom actually. Node from whom. So this distance is from node IDs which are there in a routing table to the hash ID. Okay. In earlier case, it was the current node is closest from hash ID was being searched. So here you have to, in your software, in routing software, you have to modify. Brahaspati, we don't have this problem. Okay, I am not using this algorithm, so you don't have to do this software tweaking. Those who are working, it's done in a different way. Yeah. So you have to find out the node from whom the hash ID is closest. Okay, so this is same thing as using this particular metric. So this metric is only used for routing, not to decide the root node. Okay, so forward table is also going to work in this. Forward table is going to work without any problem. So whatever has been given in literature is going to be functional. They exactly give this algorithm. And you pass the message to it, whichever is closest. So if you use this algorithm, and if the hash ID is closest from the current node, okay, the moment you, now there is this third condition, that nobody is closest, hash ID is not closest from any of the node, but you yourself. In that case, you will simply pass the message to your successor. And for your successor, this first condition will meet, which says that if the current node will be the closest from hash ID, okay, this condition will be meeting for this, and the search will terminate. This will always be guaranteed. Okay, now let's apply this rule there and see what happens in this forward table business. Will I be able to solve this problem or not? So when I use this new rule, I have to now search 83 is closest from which node? It is closest from 69. So I will pass on my query to I will pass on my query to 69. Now 69 will also have a finger table. So let me see, 69 will have 69 plus 64. So which is going to be 120, 133. So it will be 5. So this one entry will be maintained in this direction going to 10. This plus 64. 32, if you look, it will be 99, 101. So this will be going to 0. Okay. This plus 32 entry. This plus 64. Now 16. So 79, 85. So this entry will be pointing here. And 8 will be here. Okay. And then of course it will be for plus 8, plus 4, plus 2 and plus 1. All three entries will be for 77. So once it comes here, at this point you will now again search into these nodes which one is closest from 85, closest from hash ID. 85 is closest from hash ID, it will just pass it on to 85. Now 85 will also have a predecessor, it will have successor entries, and then of course same finger table, forward finger table. It will now look and will find out that it is closest, it itself is closest from 85. The first condition will meet, so the search will terminate and 85 will now have got the message where it's supposed to go. So you are able to solve this problem by just changing the routing algorithm.
Sir, there's doubts.
Yeah.
When, sir, can you go up to that figure, sir?
This one or above? This one. Or maybe even this one.
Sir, yes. Sir, when 0 passed on to 69 in search of 83, we have calculated distance in a cyclic manner 69 to 83. But when 69 has to search for 83, then it is calculating backward from 85 to, why it is sending it directly to 85? Because how it has
It has
calculated that
entry of
85 is closest. Because if we go in cyclic manner, that 85 to 83 would be like a complete cycle.
no.
One has to take.
Look at my routing table. It says first thing you will always figure out if a message is received if the current node is closest from hash ID. Okay. This is not true for this entry. This is not true for 69. Okay. 69 is not
Yes.
closest from 83. Okay. So it means this will not be used. So let me use the next one. Else condition. Now we will find a node from whom the hash ID is closest. Oh, you are right. From whom? Okay, so it will go to 77 in this case. You are right. It will go to 77. It cannot go to 85. You are right. I agree with you. Sorry, I made a mistake there. You are right. I am sorry. So 83 is there, so it has to go to 77.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. Sorry, that's a mistake. So it should go to 77. So very nice. You have correctly pointed out. Okay. So anybody who points out my mistake is gets a preference. So Ajit, you can note down. So 77 now has to look for what entries are there with 77. Search for them. So 77 plus 1 is 78. So this exists. So 82 minus 77, it will be 5. So plus 2 entry will be there and plus 4 entry will also be there. Okay. Then 87 to 85 entry will be there, which will be plus 8 entry. Okay. So in this case, because it is 83, so it will hand it over to 82 now. 82 was not there with 69. That's why it could not be done. So it actually reduced the search space every time by half, actually. So first time when the handing over was done, search space is reduced to only this. This has been removed. When the next step, it was only made into 85 and below, 85 and 77 range. This was the search space. Further half. And next time, this will be the search space will only be this. I think that's the way it should be put in. So initial search space was this. Next search space was brought down to this. Next search space was brought down to this. So 82 will have some entry for 85 with plus 1 successor entry. So it will now pass it on to. It won't be able to find out anybody who is closer. It will figure out 82 is the closest. So now the next rule will come that you just, whenever you find you yourself is a closer node, if hash ID is closest from the current node, pass the message to successor. Okay. So you will pass the message to successor, which will be 85. And then 85 will use that first rule and will figure out, yes, I am closest from hash ID, and it will terminate and it will search. So this will be the next step for this thing which will be happening. Okay. Yeah, so this query will actually ultimately terminate here at 85. You are right, I think. That's correctly pointed out. So everybody understands this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will make these corrections in the original one because I am now annotating over a PDF. So this is only available in the video recording. Okay. The actual handout PDF is actually without annotations. So there I will make this correction. Now coming back to the situation. I am actually, last time when I taught, I never worried about maintaining predecessor and successor all the time. I only talked about finger tables, which was not correct. The evolution of the algorithm has happened because we maintained circles first. Okay. Then CORD was essentially creating a shortcut, a line between the way you create a chord in a circle. So that's why it's called chord. You create multiple chords actually. So you now partition the search space by half every time by creating one chord. So why this is predecessor successor should always be maintained. So reason for this is, if I am actually looking at an algorithm only with predecessor successor, no chords, okay, no finger tables, it is always going to be correct. Okay, that we have already proved. We took a very badly thing and we figured out, because predecessor successor is there, whenever you get other options, you will replace by better options. So everybody will end up in getting a correct predecessor successor, after which, once it becomes stable, you will not find predecessor successor will not be able to give you any node which is going to be closer to you than them. And this is always bound to happen. This happens in with O(n) complexity, in that many number of time complexity, those many steps. Okay. So that was without routing table. It will converge to the correct ring and it is guaranteed. So what I am doing, I am only just on top of it adding these finger tables. And now these finger tables are doing what? I am from this is the current node. I am trying to find out a pointer. Say this is a plus 64 pointer. But then this will become part of routing table. So my predecessor successor are also part of routing table. I will be able to start moving towards, I will get predecessor successor information. If there is somebody is a better candidate, I will replace it. And next time when the routing table exchange will happen with this, because my routing table exchange rule, I will move here. And if this is the truly the point in the node ID space, which belongs to halfway across C, I will get stuck here, and after this there cannot be any change. So I will always optimally will move and will find out the correct finger table. Okay. So this recursion allows that you will always be correct, because my circle is correct, and circle is correct because there is a predecessor and successor. Therefore, finger tables will always be correct. If you don't maintain predecessor and successor, or for example, I made a mistake last time, I maintained only successors, and then last year I figured out I can actually get a case where the table gets stuck. They become incorrect stable entries, so which was not correct. But now this will not be happening. Okay, finger tables were added later on. Circles were created beforehand, so predecessor successor were always there. So now I can actually create how these tables will get formed. Let's come to this. Yeah. So this technically can be now written in a proof form. You can formally kind of prove, once you know the stable correctness of the circle, finger tables will always get corrected because of this recursion procedure, which happens because of the routing table exchange. And you can find out the worst case time which will be required to correct it. So it will be actually in this case will be O(n). If it is a binary actually search, because you are doing halfway across, then 1/4. So 1/4 of these, how you have to do a swap, 1/4 of the number of nodes. So n/4 worst case scenario will iterations will be required before a plus 64 entry get corrected. Okay, for correcting a plus 32 entry, you will require n/8. So there is actually you can figure out from that. So plus 64 entry correction will require 128/4, which is 32 steps in worst case scenario. Plus 32 entry will require, okay, so plus 32 will be somewhere here, so half of that. So plus k entry requirement will always require k/2 steps in worst case. So remember, the lower entries will actually converge much faster. Okay, lower entries will converge much faster. The higher entries may take longer time depending on how this node ID distribution is there. But normally, since we always assume random node IDs, these times are kind of will remain almost kind of a constant with all kind of configurations. And most of the time, because of uniform distribution, you will normally be very close to the place where you should be. You won't find any, there will not be a case when there is no node. You end up here while you have to be somewhere here. Okay. So convergence is pretty fast. Only thing, addition and deletions actually create a problem. So there is a transients which happens. So let's come here. So normally whenever a node goes off, you don't remove your routing table immediately. You maintain the older copy also, so that when the node comes back, the older information also can be immediately triggered. You don't remove the entry. You schedule it for deletion. You start using it for routing. The moment it comes back again, you start using that entry, activate it, and then compute, you will immediately flip back to the original table. So in B4 also, we don't remove the routing table entries immediately. We just flag them. Okay. So this is done in almost all peer-to-peer network designs. So this is a modulo 128 node ID space, larger one this time I have taken. And this is a circle which have been formed, correct circle. So if we start with the correct circle, how much time will it take to, or how you will get the correct finger tables? Remember, I am only looking at a forward finger tables. So successor is automatically included in that finger table. If I am looking at a backward finger tables, I have to explicitly add successor or predecessor and successor both. Okay. Predecessor cannot be precluded from that case in backward finger tables. Okay. But in forward finger tables, successor is subsumed inside one of the entries, finger table entries. So if it is a circle, this is what the table will look like. So predecessor for 5 is 115. Okay. And for 0 to 4 entry, 2 raised power 0 to 2 raised power 4, you add a plus 128 modulo 128. You will always end up in some entry which is going to be between 5 and 30. So best way to figure it out is 30 minus 5 is 25. So the lowest number, 2 raised power something, which is lower than 25 is 16. So it goes from 0 to 4. Okay. So 1 to 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. When you add those, you will end up in always some hash IDs in this range. So 30 will be the root node. Okay. So when I look at 30, predecessor is 5 and I have only 42, 12. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Till 8 actually. So remaining, there is no entry here. So you yourself must be responsible for that. That's what it means. Okay. So you don't have to keep this, but these are the entries. So these are just being maintained for your own. This thing predecessor we need to maintain to figure out whether you are the root node or not. Okay. These are just finger tables. You maintain this particular structure or not does not matter, but they are just places in the table. Similarly, look at 42. It will be predecessor is 30. And next is 62. 62 minus 42 is 20. So it will go till 16. 0 to 4. 62, if you look, 62 and 92, it is 30. So again, it will go till 4. 92, if you look, go to 110. So this will be 18. So 0 to 4. 110 to 115 is only 5. So 0, 1 and 2. There is only gap of 5 actually. And 115. Now remember it's a cyclic, 115 to 5. So predecessor will be 110. And 105 to 128 turns out to be 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. So 0 to 4 will be 5 will be responsible. So now how you will compute if I ask you. So node 5 is sending the routing tables to, I am going to there are 2 rules, remember, for routing table exchange, and you have to stick to them. That node will be sending the routing tables to all the entries which are maintained, and will also to whichever node it is sending a routing table. Okay, you are maintaining a pointer to him. He may not be having a pointer to you, but still he is supposed to send the routing table back. So 5 will send it to 115 and 30, and will also receive the routing table from 115 and 30 because sending a request. So I am just doing it one by one. I'm not doing all the cases. You probably have to do it on your own. But this is the procedure. So when you do the coding, you have to do it this way. So 5, once it sends to 115 and 30. So 5 will send to 30. So what is going to happen? Let's look at the table above. Okay. 5 and 42. This is the information. So 5 is 115 and 30 remains as is. 42 gets added from here. Because 30 will be responding back. Okay. And 5 also gives to 115. So it will give 110. Information about that will also come. 42 and 100 are the new things. And once I have all these entries, I will just associate the ranges with them. And the remaining thing will be discarded, whatever are not taken. So routing tables have been fused together. So routing table is received by 5 and there is a fusion being done. Okay. So you look at all possible candidates for each range and find out the one which is the most suited one. Rest everything is discarded. So in Brihaspati 4 also we have a routing table manager which does this job. Routing tables come from neighbors and there is a fusion which is being done and routing tables are managed. We not only maintain, this is what we call one part is leaf set, this predecessor successor. Other part is a routing table where this 0 to 4, 5, 6 is being done. We don't need actually predecessor successor in our case. Okay. And no, we do require predecessor successor. I'll come to that, whether we require or we don't require. Okay. Because our distance metric is different, so it does not matter actually. We'll always get to get a hang of it. Yeah, we don't require it in our case. We are based on tapestry. So for 5th, it has been done. Yes. So 115 remains predecessor because there is nobody else. 30 will become now 0 to 4 responsible. 42 will become responsible for this will become 5th entry because 32 plus 5 is 37, which is less than 40. 42 becomes 5 only knows about these nodes. It's not knowing about others. Okay. And 5 now knows about 110. So 5 plus 64, 69, so 110. So you just make this entry. Then it may not be correct. So when 5 actually is being used with 64, what should be the entry? 69, 69, 92 should have been the ideal correct entry under steady state condition. These are transient phenomena. So 110 is not correct entry here. Okay. Then it is being changed with 30. So 30 will receive the information. 542 was already there. Okay. It will come to know of 115. 30 is already there. It itself is there. 115 is the only new information which comes from 5 to 30. So 115 will put 0 to 3 was 42. 13 plus 8. 38, which is less than 42. So 30 plus 4, 2 raised to power 4. 30 plus 16, 46. For 46, 115 is going to be there. 30 plus 64, 94, 115. So 4 to 6 range, 115 is going to be the next one. Okay. So this I will be retaining. So I can retain as many entries as I want, but these are minimum which I need to retain, at most 7. Okay. So depending on the partitions. So idea is very simple that every node will divide this whole thing into half. Then it will divide into quarter, 8, 16. So I'm logarithmically reducing it. We call it logarithmic partitioning because of this. Logarithmic partition of node ID space. So here is a binary partition. I can make it ternary chord also. This one is a binary chord currently. So 42, 62, 92, I don't bother. 115 also gets an entry, so it only come to know about 30. Okay, neighbor's neighbor actually, and it will make an entry for 5. Next step, you start from the same one. This time node 30 may send the routing table to 5, 42, 115 and gets their routing tables. Okay, so when node 30 will send to 5, no difference will be coming. Okay, look at the earlier table. 30 has only 5, 42, 115. 5, 42, 115 was 5, 42, 115 was already there. Okay, 5, 42, 115 was already there. So there is no change on this. Okay, with 42 when it will change, so 42 will come to know of a new information will be 5. Okay, 5 and 115 will be the new information. So it will put 5 and 115 will compute for 5, 6 range. 115 will become responsible. 5 is removed actually. Okay, is from 42 cyclic thing. So for the second partition of 42, so when you have 42, for this whole partition, 115 will become responsible. Okay, so you need not know about any one of these. So you make this guy responsible. So in each part, so in this partition, this guy is responsible. When 30 is looking at it, for this guy, this one person will be responsible. Then somebody will be responsible here. But remember, for every node's partition is different. That's a very important thing. Every node's partitioning is different. Tapestry and pastry does a slightly different way. For the partitions for everybody remains the same way. Okay, it does not change. So this partitioning of the node ID space remains same. It does not change. Okay, that depends on the node ID's nibbles. So once this is done, so these two are remaining as it is. I made some corrections here. I made a mistake earlier. So 115 will come to know of what new information? It will come to know of 42. Okay, it was already knowing about. So when 30 will be sending, 5 was already known, 42 was not known. 115, this node itself is there. So 30 was already known. So 42 will be the only new information. So 42 is being added, but 42 is immaterial. For 6, you have to become 115, and for this 1/8 partition, I am anyway using 30. So 42 is rejected. Of course, you should ask a question for this 1/8 partition. Of course, it cannot be done here. It is done there to make it more efficient. If this guy is sitting in US, this node is sitting in US, and this is in India, and I am within India, why not to choose somebody who is within India? So that's a question which was raised by some people, and they improvise on the algorithm. Not this one, but it has been done in pastry as well as tapestry both. Okay. So in Brihaspati, we are also doing the same thing. So we are trying to make it more efficient. So the root messages have to be reduced. Similarly, node 42 will now send to whatever entries which are there with it as of now. So you can, at any point of time, any node can trigger an exchange of routing table with all the neighbors. So 42 does it. So information will get updated. Okay, 115 and 5 will be discarded. 92 and 110 will be the new information which it will get. So 42 is exchanging with 62. So 42 is already there. 92 is the new information which came. Okay, with 30, it already got about 5. 5 was discarded. 5, even if it comes, does not matter. So 5 has come here. 92 has been learned. Okay. 62 was already there. 42 was it itself. 115 was there. Okay. Similarly, now it will get from 115 also. So whatever is not suited will be discarded, and the best choice will be kept. Now keep on doing it. Anybody, after some time, you will get a stable thing. So when all nodes have exchanged multiple times, maximum of log to 128.7. if everybody does the 7 exchanges with all whatever neighbors which they have, okay, you will end up in a correct routing table entry. And this is what it will look like. This will be the final routing table entries. So basically you will now look into the range. So from 5, if I have a +1, what happens if I have +2, I have +8, I have +4, +16, +32, +64. Based on that, find out for every node you do it, you will get the final routing tables. Okay, this is what it will be finally. Okay, you can now do innovations here. You can combine forward and backward routing tables simultaneously. Okay, that will still become more efficient. You are only increasing your memory by double, routing table memory. Okay, and you can use 1 + 1, one successor, one predecessor. You can actually use k/2 predecessors and k/2 successors. Total k nodes. This is what we call the leaf set. That's a term which is being popularly used. We also have another routing table, which is depending on the round trip delays. Okay, so you actually find out the nodes which the least round trip delay. We also exchange there. We call it neighbor table. So you end up in the guys who are closest to you in terms of the round trip time, round trip travel time for the messages or packets. So based on that, we also create a third entry. So this is basically used for streaming system, live stream. Okay. So that's a third. We will come back to this third routing table when we come back to the Brihaspati 4 design. So we can close now. So any questions so far? Or anywhere I have made a mistake? So it's okay. So we close now. So next class I will just pick up in the first few minutes. We will discuss this. I will ask from you. You have to explain what was there in this lecture, and then I will go ahead with the next part of it. Okay. So next part is Kademlia, which has to be done. So Kademlia was the routing protocol which I forgot last time the name. Okay. So we now close. Thank you.